Good afternoon and welcome to Klingspor's Woodworking Shop Extravaganza Woodworking Edition virtual. Joined with us is the man, the myth, the legend, Andy Birkey.
Hi, everybody.
And Andy's going to be talking to us today about the Shaper origin. If you haven't followed any of Andy's work, he does some amazing things with Celtic design, as well as a lot of the church design in general, as far as things that you find in churches that are very, most of the time they were hand carved originally. So how he utilizes the Shaper origin to me is one of the most fascinating things.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is all about the hardest part of doing Gothic geometry and Gothic woodworking for churches is trying to make, century-old type of crafts affordable today in the modern world, right? So, yeah, we cheat as much as humanly possible, and over the last couple of years, one of the things that's really come to the forefront of helping make things more affordable is integrating the Shaper origin into my workflow. So now I can do the layout, the actual math I can do in full scale, and then convert it over to an SVG file, which the Shaper can use, and it really helps to make both in accuracy and also in affordability, because then I can repeat it, and it's really good. Not being a CNC type of guy by nature, I'm an old school woodworker, but this guy has really, even though for me the learning curve has been a little bit crazy because I'm not too bright, still the influence of this guy in my day-to-day is huge. And so that's why I'm apt to be here today.
Awesome. We were really glad that you joined us, because if there's anyone to show us about the Shaper, I think you are a perfect person to do that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I can learn to do this, I guess the main thing that I'd like to communicate to your audience is, if I can do this, literally anybody can integrate this into their small shop.
And so the nice part is that you have these designs that you need to replicate. And so you lay them out like old school drafting style, where you lay them out full size. And
right.
Then you're able to give that to Shaper. They can convert it into a file, which then you can use this Shaper origin to route out that design.
Correct. If I was proficient with design software, I could do that myself. But one of the nice things about working with Shaper as a company is they provide a service called Shaper Assist. And Shaper Assist, I can literally send a hand drawing, a scan of a hand drawing that I've done, and they do all of the hard work in the design software and send it back to me. And the affordability of that service for me is, it helps me so much that the cost of them doing that is negligible.
So that's kind of what you decided to do with the Klingspor logo, is that we sent it to you. You were able to convert that into an SVG file utilizing that service from Shaper. And then today you're going to show us how easy it is to take that file and then turn into an actual design.
Absolutely. Actually, what we're going to do today is this guy here. So what we've done is, you guys sent me this logo. The guys at Shaper Assist were able to quickly turn this around. I think they did it in about 12 hours. By the time I sent it to them, I got it back. That turnaround happens really quickly. And then once I have a file with the cut paths involved, then it transfers directly to my machine, and then I can scale it however I want to. The coolest thing about this is we can do this on a dog tag, or we can make it big as a football field. It doesn't matter. We can do that all on board.
Wow. That is super impressive. I did not know that. Did you know that about it? Because I know that you've been researching this a lot more than I have. But at the same time, I've seen the demos and I've seen how easy it is to operate. So I didn't know it could do that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's
But
to me, that's
but it was designed real heavily for like the flooring industry and other artisans where you're doing larger scale products. So projects. So, this is just one of the many ways it can be utilized in whether you're doing something small like this or, like you said, as big as a football field, it can be accommodated.
the nice thing about the SVG type of file is it doesn't degrade no matter how big you blow it up. So literally, if you have enough shaper tape, you could do this on the center of a football stadium, and maybe we should do that. Maybe Klingspor should like sponsor Carolina Panthers, and I'll come out and we'll put it on the center of the field.
That sounds like a deal.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath on that.
Would it have to be routed, or could we use a paint pen? Because I could see some possibilities here.
Yeah, no, what we do is we route the whole logo into some plywood, assemble the plywood, and then we'll do, like they do, they paint the logo, but we'll have it super accurate because we did it here on the shaper.
Oh, that would be awesome. Have you done something like that before? Routed out an image on plywood or OSB and then installed it later?
Sure have. That's one of the cool things is we can do things here and then put it even overhead. We have overhead here in the shop, but we cut it here, and then you can put it vertically. You can do it however you want to do it.
That's pretty cool. You talked about this tape. What is this tape?
Okay, so you're wondering, the main question I always get with this guy is how does it doesn't have a gantry, it doesn't have an XY axis. How does it know where it is in the world? And the secret is this tape right here that they call it domino tape, but basically just the way that this goes down in front of a front-facing camera, we will memorize where this tape is and create what's called a workspace. And basically what we're doing is creating a virtual bed for the CNC machine.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So there's a camera that's reading that information on that tape and where you put it. So it's being able to tell you where in the virtual design is within itself.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for instance, what I have here is a board that I'm going to cut here on the table. And then I've got one that's just the same height out here. And that's where I'm going to put my tape because we're front facing. So what I'll do is put a few rows of this out here in front. And what this will do is become that bed where this guy knows where it is. So, and there's no particular pattern. There's no, basically the more information that you give the origin, the happier it is. So like these right here, you can see it's not real particular on how this is laid down. It's just that it wants to see information, right? So we're going to go with that.
So
That's probably more than what we need, but we're going to call it good.
So if, for instance, if you ran out of tape mid-roll of doing a project, you're going to open a new thing of tape, it's not going to be detrimental to the project.
No, because what it's doing is it's determining where each of these dominoes is in relation to the other ones.
Cool.
So it doesn't, they are randomized on the roll, but what really matters is how they talk to each other. So one of the first things that we do on the machine is we'll scan in what's this new workspace. So what we'll do is, I'm going to put my goggles on. So what we're going to do is literally just move this around till it can see all of those dominoes. And then what I like to do also is my board here. And then we're just going to click go, and it is now creating that space inside of the virtual workspace. Owen, why don't you come around here? So what we'll do is I'm going to bring you around and show you how we're going to import the file, and then we'll just get into it. All right, so now we have the machine here, and what we're going to do is import the Klingspor logo. Of course, it's going to do that. Okay, hold on just a second. Give me a second to, all right, come on, baby.
So what's it doing right now as far as if someone is purchased one of these and this is happening, what are we experiencing?
I think what we're doing is I've been practicing too much today, I think is what's happening. But I'm going to try to reconnect with my Wi-Fi.
Oh, so close. Almost had that password.
No, I lost it. Okay, Owen, I gotta re-put in my password.
So while Mr. Birkey is doing that, the Shaper Origin is run by a Festool router. It obviously, as you can see, it has a graphic design from the tape that it utilizes for the space that it is in. And then once you get the graphic loaded up, it will only allow you to route out in those areas. And if you go outside the line, which Andy's going to show us, it actually stops the router and lifts it up out of the way. That's how you get away from accidentally cutting something you didn't want to in the design. Where a traditional hand router, if you did that with a sign making, that would go a little bit differently.
Yeah, and what makes the Shaper unique is instead of a straight collet coming out of a router motor, it's actually got sort of a base at the bottom that automatically adjusts side to side and up and down within a specific range to keep you within that perfect line that you're trying to create.
Well, I can't wait to see it for sure, because I remember there's some demo models in the demo that we saw with Shaper when they were first talking to us about bringing it on. It was kind of, it almost turns into a video game. Like you're just trying to keep it inside the path. And if you miss and go outside the path, well, you don't die and burn up the car. Instead, it just lifts up the router. It's kind of nice.
Well, and the cool thing is, if you're local to one of our 3 stores in Hickory, Winston-Salem, or Asheville, we actually have these on display in our store, and you can stop by and check it out yourself.
Now, would I be able to take a test run and kind of get an idea of how the software works?
There is a demo mode where on the display that we've got, the table's got preset patterns in it, and you just simply, when you put your router over that, it'll allow you to see that. We don't actually let you cut, but you can certainly follow the pattern to see what it would look like to simulate if you did have a bit in there, what would be happening just on the screen, because you're not looking at the bit like you would traditionally do with a hand router. You're looking at the screen and you're following the bit movement on the screen.
Awesome.
Okay, believe it or not, we're back, guys.
Perfect. We'll let you.
So here's what we've got. We're looking at the Klingspor logo, and now you can see it. Are you seeing that move around?
We are.
Hey, you guys, you there?
Yeah, we're here. We can see it. We're just allowing you to do full screen on it. So we might not have the commentary, but yeah, no, we can see everything that you're doing and saying.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is locate this on our board, and we don't need to be very specific on this one. We're just doing a test run here, but the Shaper has incredible ability to line up with the edges of the boards and really get you in space. So what we're going to do now is we have the logo. We're going to readjust our scale. So it's going to be 10 inches wide. And now I can move that around however I'd like. And I'm going to drop it right about there. Okay, so now I'm ready to start cutting. So what what we're going to do is we're going to adjust a few different things. Number one is the depth of our cut. So we're going to cut at about an eighth of an inch, not about an eighth of an inch. We're going to cut an eighth of an inch. And then we're going to be outside of our green line, which is our path. And then we're going to have no offset. And we are going to go with our 1/8 inch bit. And we're going to do what's called a Z touch. And this is just lowering the head of till our bit touches the surface so it knows exactly where it is depth-wise. So we're going to do a Z touch, and you can see it dropping in now. And she knows exactly where the board is. So you guys ready to roll?
We are ready.
So we, like Chris was saying, this zone here, basically what we need to do is stay within that 1 inch zone. You can see how it disappears if we jump away too far. So here we're on space, and we have what's called the marching ants. So this will tell us which direction we want to cut. And also there's a little bit of an indicator there, so you can have a go at it. So what I'm going to do is start here, and we're going to cut the outside. Then I'll shut it down and see if you guys have any questions or anything. Okay.
Sounds good. Rock and roll.
Okay, here we go, Captain.
So just so you know, the way Andy's filming this, whenever he has too much noise in the background, it actually cancels out. So he's still with us. He can still hear us and everything like that. So I don't want you to think that the audio dropped.
Check it out. Couldn't be much more accurate. Hold on, let me. So one of the questions I always get is about the feed rate. And the thing I like about this is, this is like old school, just using an old school router. I'm listening to what the bit is doing. And if it starts whining too much, then I'm going to slow the feed rate down. And in this maple, that was a pretty decent feed rate, and it seemed to be pretty comfortable.
Yeah. How does that look up close in the corners? Because that's pretty amazing that it could do that. I mean, you barely slowed down, really. You just kind of kept flowing.
Yeah, and there's a switch that will allow us to go around corners on the machine itself, which is even more accurate than that. So we're going to keep going. When we get into the letters and smaller things, we'll get into to some of that. Okay, everybody on board?
Is he talking about the Shaper Origin or us, Wes?
Oh, jeez. Oh, he's talking about us. Yeah, Wes Swain's in, and he's asking, "Would you look at that fine piece of machinery?" I think he's talking about Berkey.
I think he is. Thanks, Wes. All right, let's do some letters. What do you say?
Bring it.
Bring it.
Here we go. Yeah, I want to show you something that's pretty cool on this. So you can see on this letter, there's areas that won't be cut. So what I'm going to do is, instead of going with our inside cut, I'm going to go to the pocketing feature. And what this does is allows us to hog out this area that you see away from that line. And then we'll come back again with the inside cut and come back the final few thousandths of an inch around there. So we're going to hog this guy out inside, and then we'll come back around.
Awesome.
So you can see there what we've done then is we've gone ahead and both cut out all, like this area here, done that, also the pocketing feature. But we can do that, clean all this stuff up, and then come around and real nicely finish off to our original. I think that's a very cool feature.
That is a very cool feature. So, like with the K, you had a little bit left over, but on the N, it's super clean.
Correct. And basically what I will do, what I probably should have done, is gone back and did a little pocket. You know what? I'll go back and hit these guys quick with the pocketing mode and clean those up, because, well, I guess that L's not too bad.
Well, and that's something you can't do if you're hand routing it. If you need to come back to a letter, this will automatically set you back up exactly where you were. There's no setup required.
Correct. And if we stay in this workspace, we can shut this machine down, go in for lunch, and come out after lunch, shut the machine completely off, come back in after lunch, and it'll be dead the same, ready to go again.
Very
that
cool.
To me is crazy too.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to let you know, Sterling Davis said, "I love Birkey. That is all."
I can go with that. All right, but let's not get sidetracked.
Nope.
We always let Sterling sidetrack us. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the K now and pocket out that rubbish that's in the middle of it, and clean that up, and then we'll keep going with the rest of the letters. I just want to show you what I was doing there, because in the pocketing feature we are away from our eventual cut line. Is we can kind of just move it back and forth, almost like a regular router, and get just all we're doing is hogging that stuff out. Now this next pass, we'll go back to what's called an inside cut, which is right next to our line.
Very cool.
Oh no, I forgot a letter.
I was going to say something, but I didn't want to be rude.
But was that pretty clear how that works, though?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you're doing the pocketing mode, you have to be a little bit more careful with going outside versus following the line mode.
Right. Have you ever tried using a downcut bit in that?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Have you ever tried using a downcut bit in that?
I haven't. The upcut bits, bring it into this whole cage here is designed to facilitate that airflow to get it into the vacuum and out away from the the cut.
Particular setup has enough vacuum that it'll pull it through. What are you typically using? About an 1/8 inch bit in there?
Well, on this particular cut, I'm going to use an 1/8 inch for most of the detail work, and then in our big section of the epoxy pour, I'm going to go ahead and use a 1/4 inch, just to be a little faster.
Okay. I think we could probably look at getting you a down cut version and let you try it and
That
see
works.
what you think. But the down cut would eliminate a lot of your sanding and keep the top edges from fraying up on you.
Whoa, wait. We're in the business of sanding. What are you doing?
I have good friends that depend on me for sandpaper, so I'm not afraid of that.
Okay.
No, but I would definitely like to see how it works.
Okay.
Sounds good. We'll make that happen.
Here we go. So I did those two letters differently. I did the outside cut on the P before the pocketing, and the opposite way around on the other letter, the S. So it's not particular. That's kind of how I dig it, because it's, again, kind of fits in with my headspace of old school woodworking where, yeah, there's a process, but if you forget something, you can go back in and sort it out.
That's cool.
Okay, any questions or anything so far?
Russ Clarity would like one.
Talk to me, Russ. Oh, he would like
Yeah.
an origin?
Yeah.
Woodworkingshop.com. They soon will be on our website, but for now, call 800-228-0000 or visit Asheville, Hickory, or Winston-Salem store.
Does that come with free cutlery also?
For Andy Birkey.
Let's cut letters. So if you caught it, there was a point there where I was not paying attention and moved outside of the area that we want to stay in, and the bit came up and protected me from going outside the line. So that was, even though that's kind of a dumb thing for me to do, it worked out pretty well.
Yep.
Cool. Any questions or anything, guys?
Let's see here. But will it carve pumpkins?
Yes. No.
I was gonna say if anyone's tried it, it'd be handy, but yeah.
That may be true, actually.
That was Kyle Eli. He's gonna be our guest Thursday. And then Phil Pinsky says, I have to hop on a client call in 8 minutes, but had to check out Birkey. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I don't know. I think the client could wait.
I would think so.
No joke. 8 minutes? Yeah, be a little late. Be all right. Share the live. This is awesome, Sterling. Thank you so much. By the way, Sterling's here in the studio hanging out.
Nice.
Giving you some support.
Somebody's going to get hurt. All right, we're going to keep going.
All right.
So one of the cool features about this is each cut is a different color. So you can go back in and see exactly where, like when we're using that pocketing feature, we can see exactly where we haven't, cut yet. So that allows us to get on in here and pull all that stuff out.
Very nice.
Any questions?
Is this available in the UK?
It's available on the continent. I believe the UK is coming soon.
Okay.
If I remember right, I don't believe it's quite there yet.
Well, Stephen, I tell you what, we will find out from Shaper what their plans are for that in the upcoming time frame, and let you know. And then
Okay,
Kyle Watson says it looks really neat.
Who's that?
Kyle Watson said it looks really neat.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. It's fun, right? I love the fact that you still have that response, the feeling of using a hand tool. You're adjusting the speed, you're adjusting how you move it around. To me, like I say, being an old school woodworker guy, I like that feel. Instead of, it would be a little more uncomfortable for me to set things up on a bedded CNC and let it run, which different strokes for different folks, I guess. But that's kind of I like that feel of still having some sort of input on the machine. The cool thing about this to remember that's kind of weird is you're not really buying a tool here. You need to think of it as buying a platform. When Shaper decides to do an upgrade of this tool, I just receive it over Wi-Fi, and the next time the machine plugs in and connects to Wi-Fi, the update comes down and the new features come with it. So that's kind of an interesting thing to kind of get your head wrapped around. We're used to buying a router, and it is what it is for as long as you own it. Well, with this guy, there's constant updates that come through and improve the tool itself.
Well, and I'll add something to that, because they have a full, huge library of other files that other people have made and created, as well as different ideas and tips that you can go and use on your particular machine.
That's right. The Shaper Hub is the kind of community, and once you're in there, there's literally hundreds of different designs that you can do, ranging from furniture to cutting boards that are really cool to, children's toys. They're all in there, and you can just bring them, download to My Origin on that website, and it instantly comes right here to the machine.
Yep.
That blows my mind.
Just to let you know, Daniel Haju says, "No way. I know that guy."
I do not claim to know him at all. I've never met him. We have never broken into a U-Haul van together.
I was going to say, I thought I saw him.
Wait. I didn't mean to say that.
Just go ahead and cut the live real quick. Pull back 10 seconds.
We're having audio feed.
Yeah. Tyler would like to know, what are some other applications beyond sign making?
I'm using it making Gothic furniture. So panels that are in my world, a lot of pierce work and intricate panels. This would be a pretty good example of what I'm talking about. So we could come in here and do all this cut pierce work with the Origin, heavy duty repeatability, and then come in with, this is how I use it, which is probably the outside of what it's really, I'm pushing the tool, right? So what I'll do is do the pierce work on the Origin, come back in with a cove bit with a regular router and hit all these guys, and then come back in with carving chisels and hit all the corners. So that's my way of working, and it gets pretty fast, and I still get a lot of, one of the cool things about old school woodwork is you can see the cut marks. So, you can still see a lot of those chisel marks in my work, and I leave them there. So this kind of crossover, I really dig it. So also, this guy can do work with the Shaper workstation, which is a kind of a bench mounted subsurface. You can also do all sorts of joinery with it, which I'm getting my workstation here at the beginning of November, and I'm pretty amped to get it.
Very
so
cool.
Yes, because the workstation is included for free. You can get the workstation now and have it pre-ordered, and it'll be here next month.
Right. How are we doing on time, guys?
We're good on time. We're letting you take it. It's the last one of the day.
Okay,
If
cool.
you want to finish it up, it's fine.
Say that again.
If you want to finish it up, that's fine. Whatever you would like to do. You are our guest.
That is a terrible, terrible idea, but we're going with it.
Just to let you know, Daniel wants to know, have they figured out how to work on a round column with that thing yet? When they do, I'm all in.
Boy, you know what? I will say a caveat. I am not the smartest guy in the whole world. I don't believe that's right. The only thing I don't know that, to be honest, and leave it to Daniel for putting that out there.
Stump
But
you.
the nice thing is, I will say this: the nice part about this company and the interaction that I've had with them is, if you do have a question like that, you can talk to the dudes that know that, and they will email you back or message you back like straight away. And the contact that the response that they have is really, I'm way into it. Very cool. Let's get going before Daniel asks another weird question. Okay, I'm going to switch bits now because we're going to hog out all this area here in the logo. So if there's any questions or anything while I'm changing these bits out, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
All right, we'll pool the people and let you know. Anything you'd like to add about the Shaper Origin, Chris?
Yeah, it does come in a very nice heavy duty sustainer. If you're familiar with Festool, obviously that's a very similar casing. which does protect it. I mean, obviously, you don't want to put out this kind of money and just have that sucker sitting around on the shelf somewhere. So it does allow you to keep that in the sustainer. And the workstation is very, very cool. It gives you a lot of capabilities, and they've got a lot of other things that are coming down the line as well as that are currently available. So, uh, definitely keep your eyes out and stop by the stores and eventually check on our website. We'll have it there. And if you got any additional questions or you want to see other videos, the Shaper Tools website is also a pretty good source.
That's a good call. I mean, the important thing to remember is I could load this file here, and then I could take it to a job site in that sustainer, protected, and then unload it there and have that file, even if I don't have Wi-Fi there, it's on the machine then. And then I can put that file anywhere I want, vertically, inscribe it under some paneling, anything like that. So if you have any place that you
horizontal,
would
inverted, all of
put
the
the logo, it's all you.
Gotcha. Yeah, Mark Schaefermeyer was asking if you've ever engraved anything strange like a ceiling.
That is, there has been rumors and innuendo, but I will not either confirm or deny that.
And then Sean Quakenbush would like to know, how thick of material can you plunge cut through?
I believe that it's about 1.75 inches, just as it sits. I've heard there's some hacks that you can do to make it go deeper, but I will neither confirm or deny the availability of that.
Shaper does not support any use of his product in any unsafe manner.
Okay, you guys ready to do a big pocket?
Yeah, let's see it.
What we've done is gone to a 1/4 inch bit now, just one that is, about half burned up. I'm not concerned about, the shaper or the origin will not let us go anywhere close to our edge. So all we're doing is really just hogging out, and it's sort of like being, in a bowling alley. You can go anywhere in the alley, but it won't let you go into the gutter.
Very cool.
How's that?
I've never bowled that way before. I'm always in the gutter.
All the bowling alleys around here have pulled restraining orders on me, so I don't know anymore.
He's out in the parking lot bowling.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Okay, so I just did one of the cardinal rules that you can't do is I started cutting without Z touching after changing a bit. So this is one thing you do need to be aware of, is it needs to know where the surface is. So now we're going to let that go down, and now it knows where the surface is, so I won't do that.
Got it. So next time, remember to put some tape on the back for the epoxy not to run out that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have to check that out. But I'm glad that happened, because that is you still need to tell the tool a few things, where it is in the world with the tape and where the surface of the workpiece is. So let's do it. So obviously I'm going really fast here just to hog this out, but I want to also let you know, if you see this piece of information here in the upper right-hand corner, that's represents the shaper tape. So if the origin is starting to not have enough information, it can't see enough tape, it'll give you this sort of, yeah, I don't like this. I'm red now. So what I'm trying to do is keep an eye on that while I'm working to make sure that I can rotate this guy however I want to, and this will stay on track. But however, I need to move it to make sure that it has plenty of information, can see plenty of shaper tape. I can move it around however I want to. So we got one more pocket to go here, and then we can go with some questions or observations. You guys good?
Pretty good here.
Okay, let's go.
Straight away. And he's coming along the long back straightaway, coming to the horseshoe bend and makes the turn perfectly. Leads the pack up around turn one, back down a long straight edge on the backside of the track. Hey, Andy, you missed a spot.
No, I hope not. I think I got it all. You do have to look over things. No, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
So one of the things that's nice is the Origin is about 13.5 pounds. So it has a nice heavy feel to it. You're not going to get a lot of bouncing around. To be honest, I need to put a sleeve on here. Usually if I ever have any problem with it where it feels like it's not super steady, it's because I'm dragging this along the edge of the workbench and it's my own fault. I need to get a sleeve on there.
I don't know who that guy is.
Okay.
We should look him up.
Okay, cool. So yeah, is there any questions or any discussion as I'm moving along with this? I'm going to go ahead and use a Klingspor sanding mop to kind of clean this guy up.
What a great idea.
Tell you what I'm going to do first.
Mop up all that extra debris with a Klingspor sanding mop.
Okay, here we go. I love these, by the way. Klingspor sanding.
So what Andy is using is one of our eyelet stars. It's 2 inches in diameter. It's flaps, very thin, small flaps, about 1/8 of an inch, applied to a mandrel, so they kind of fluff out whenever you use them. It's the smallest version of our sanding star, which is a smaller version of our flutter sheet. But we found that anytime you have details like this in a CNC project, that these will sand it out very quickly without losing the detail that the CNC has just made.
You know what other products I really like is Klingspor, soft sanding spongy thing.
And what's he using there, Chris?
A soft sanding spongy thing. Didn't you hear him?
That is our premium foam pad.
Okay.
Well, he treats foam pads like I treat foam pads.
All right, what we're going to do with this guy is I've pre-measured some total boat epoxy with a little bit of pigment, and we're going to make this guy pop real quick here as soon as I get. What I want to do first is just shoot a little bit of lacquer on this guy. Is anybody still in the chat, or they have any questions, or have they all like decided that they have better things to do with their lives than hang out with us?
They're still hanging out.
Idiots.
Gary Jones would like to say, "Hey, Andy, you're weird. I like you."
I like you too, bro. I'm going to shove this under the heater for a couple seconds. I would like to say that I'm not an expert either in CNC or the Shaper Origin. All I am is just a guy that has, I think, semi-successfully integrated it into kind of an older school mentality and workflow. So all I can say is this may not be the doctor's recommended way of using this all the way, but man, I tell you what, it really works for me, and it's I highly recommend it. So again, if there's any questions or anything, I'd be happy to give it a whack. If they're super technical, I'd highly recommend you shoot Shaper email. They're super cool about getting back to you.
Well, Mark would like to know if he can get a close up of the detail on the hogged out bottom once it's out of the dryer.
And I will say yes, but this is also super rough. You saw how fast I went. But you can see the difference between the hogged out bottom here and how clean these letters are. So that's just, you know, this bit being a little bit duller and me going super fast. Does that work?
That worked. Paul Desmond liked to tell you he's way too late to this party, but he loves you.
I love Paul too. That dude is cool. I know that guy.
Yeah, you didn't rob a U-Haul. I mean, break into a U-Haul with him. I see.
I'm not sure.
Not yet.
Give us time. All right, I'm pushing this way too fast, but we're gonna give it a whirl anyway. So here's our total boat epoxy. This is my favorite way of making, you know, a super quick sign that is easy to do and has a minimum of sanding. So we're going to give this a quick whirl. Any other questions out there while I'm available?
Sure thing. Actually, Sam Cuttress, who works with Shaper Tools, was saying if you have any questions for anyone else, he's not trying to gate crash your live demo, but he did let us know that the Max Z Travel is 1.7 inches.
Okay, there it is.
The Origin is available in the UK.
Oh, it is. Okay. Sorry, Sam.
No, it's all right. We didn't know that either, so that works out. Down cut cutters work great in Origin for finishing passes or fine detail work, but they force Origin up off the work surface when hogging out a lot of material quickly.
Okay, so you use Chris is right. You can use a down cut for hogging out, and then an up cut, or I'm sorry, up cut for hogging out, and a down cut for the finishing pass.
Yep, it reduces friction of the base and leads to an awkward jerky cut experience if you're using it for hogging out.
And nobody likes an awkward jerky cut experience.
That should be the quote of the day right there. Okay, so let's get a little bit.
It took us long to get to you, Sam. We did have to background check you. We weren't sure who you were at the time, so we got you covered.
Yeah, when you talk about gate crashing anything Andy's doing, we got to double check who you are.
Yeah, no kidding. That is the truest thing ever.
Another one from Utah who wants a store. Klingspor store. Gary is saying that Mark is from Utah, and we need another store.
Totally do. You should have those in every town over 50,000 people.
Or just have one in Normal.
I live a little south of Normal, so.
Perfect. So we're far enough away to where you can't walk.
All right, here we go. We're going to give this a whirl. No jokes right now.
Don't worry, I'm putting them on the screen so you can't see them to distract you.
You're killing me.
So a Berkey.
Oh, bar. I hate you guys.
But we love you, Berkey.
There we go. I saved it. Everybody back off. I saved it. I wish the Klingspor detail logo had a little less detail.
Don't worry, it's just going on the the president's wall in his office, so no pressure.
I'm gonna push this around a little bit.
Now, is that a standard popsicle stick that you would find at the end of any popsicle, or did you have to get special order ones for a pop?
These are special popsicle sticks. I think they're available at Klingspor woodworkingshop.com. I'm going to take that muffled laughter as a negative.
So no, what we're doing is that when you were mentioning Total Boat, since they won't allow us to carry their products, we keep putting not sponsored on the screen. Because we don't mind you talking about it. They're a great company, but since they won't allow us to carry their products, I have to, it's not sponsored.
That's right. They've been very good to me, so that's just the way it is.
So what is this technique you're calling that?
That's table pounding, which is it's an older school woodworking technique, but happens it's I don't know. I can't really talk about it because it's proprietary. I've signed a non-disclosure agreement. Are you buying that?
Yeah. What did you say?
I said, is it anything like tamping in concrete? You're just trying to
absolutely like that.
Liquid flat and level.
Absolutely. So with this, what I'm doing here is I'm having this stuff below the actual work surface. So all I'm doing is making it kind of have a little cupping effect. And when it dries, it tends to look pretty cool like that. It kind of gives it a little bit of shape to it. Oh, I think I got a leak in my cup.
Hey, before you finish that letter, you do know that's supposed to be yellow, right?
Oh. Dang it.
Oh.
Once again, I hate you guys.
Yeah, once we go past the 1 hour mark, we just go ahead and just let it go.
It's
woodworking shop offers syringes for things like when you're trying to do detailed lettering like this. Put that epoxy right in that syringe, squeeze it right out in place, and you won't have to worry about broken cups.
Nice. Not sponsored. Well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, well, yeah. Way sponsored.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, we got this.
Yeah, you guys are pros at this.
Now, I do have a serious question on while you're doing this. Do you think that having a cotton-ended Q-tip would be beneficial in pulling epoxy away from areas you didn't want it to go into?
Yeah, it would actually.
Good, because I've got 20,000 Q-tips I need to figure out what to do with.
Send them my way.
Perfect.
Because I'm glad you said that.
Oh, look at that.
Huh?
That was not planned.
Nice. That works. See, that's how we work around here. We don't have a plan really. We just respond and try to keep a lot of different tools and supplies in the shop. Boy. You guys not talking is more distracting than talking.
Oh, well, here, hold on a second. We were busy doing something.
We were laughing at you where you couldn't hear us.
Sweet. I appreciate that.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
There we go. Cool. So you see how that light bends in that cove?
Got a point. Yeah.
It adds a little bit of interest to that, I think. Now this out here is 1/8 of an inch, and I usually cut it 1/4. But we're going to see how it goes here.
I do have to say that is extremely patient pouring method. My line would have been a zigzag.
It's the steady hand of Dr. Birkey.
Oh. How about that?
You forgot a line.
Oh, fine. See that way. I see what it is.
That is highly impressive.
I think I'd have to laugh if you ran out of epoxy right here.
Shut up your face.
What is amazing that you did make a like perfect amount.
Well, I may have had a little, I do have a little left over to pour some Easter Island heads with. All right.
Now I'm going to make a quick comment while you're kind of figuring out what's next. You know, we get a lot of questions about that tape, but notice how Andy created a board away from his actual project, and that board could now be reused for other projects, and the part that he actually cut was separate from the tape. So you don't always have to go through a whole bunch of tape on every project.
Absolutely correct. I have basically I have a board, a 1/2 inch board and a 3/4 inch board that I just keep here in the shop with tape on it. And, you know, typically I can just butt something up to that board, make a new workspace and go. I really, to be honest, in the 2 or 3 years that I've had this thing, I haven't used that much tape. Okay, I think what we'll do is put a little bit of fire to this guy and call it a project.
By the way, that is the largest insider tip that Shaper didn't want anyone to know about. Because I didn't know that. I thought you had to put the tape all the way across the work surface and, you know, cut through it. So now I know.
Well, you do. Not.
There we go. No, the cool thing is that it's a forward-facing camera. So as long as you're out in front, you're all right. About 4 or 5 inches.
So Sam answered Daniel's question of the curved surfaces. The origin assumes the tape it is looking at is on a flat surface. It will work on a very gentle curve like a large boat hull. Challenge accepted.
Birkey, let us know when you've gone around a column using the Shaper origin. Oh, you can't hear it. Yeah, you can.
So I want to show you, Owen, can you come in on this guy? So just by changing the way origin cuts, like here, over here, we were cutting on the inside of the letter. And all we have to do is cut on the outside of the letters. And then we have, what I usually do is subtract about 4/1000ths of an inch. And then these guys pop right in. This is some walnut that just really with a little bit of yellow glue and tap it in. You can inlay just as easy as doing this incising.
Now you're just showing off.
Oh yeah. It's all due to Sam. Sam's the one that makes me tick. He's got all the tricks. He just tells me what to do with them. So yeah, guys, what do you think?
I think you did an amazing job, and I'm really glad you came out today.
Man, that was fun. It was fun. I'm glad. I got to give props to my cameraman and friend Owen behind the camera. He's probably not going to come out, but thanks to him.
Thank you very much, Owen. You did a great job.
Yeah, for what you had to work with, you did a great job.
I can't believe I get treated like this. Thanks a lot, guys.
We were talking about the Shaper origin. Why you got to take that so personal?
Hey, no, seriously, guys, if you haven't seen any of Andy's work, you really ought to go look some of that up. He does some phenomenal work, very intricate. I mean, I've seen some stuff that he's done. It's like, how in the world did you do that? So go check out some of his pictures and stuff online. You'll be amazed at his talent and how well he gets things done.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Anything?
Sam said, nice project, Andy. Don't cut pumpkins. And if you are doing tighter curves like a column, you would be able to cut lengthwise. And you have to make a flat fixture with the shaper tape on it in order to be able to cut.
I will tell you this, Sam knows more about science and the universe and everything than I will ever learn in my entire life. So listen to Sam.
Yep. If you have questions, ask Sam.
Absolutely. That is a huge, when you buy one of the tools, you're kind of in a crew out in San Francisco that you can get the Shaper Assist program, like I say, for guys that are challenged in the software end of things. That's a huge, huge benefit. The Shaper Hub, where all these shared projects are, is huge. And then just access to guys like Sam and the rest of the engineers and software dudes. It's all out there, and it all comes kind of in a big, ball of deliciousness with the Shaper Origin or any other tools.
Well, I'm glad. I don't have any more questions. I think this has been the most informative display of a Shaper Origin I have seen. Yeah. You should definitely air guitar that, Bill. That was amazing.
And don't forget, that was so good, you should go ahead and smash it. Just like we hope when this gets posted to our YouTube page that we will smash the like and subscribe to our channel.
Beautiful.
Smash that like button.
That's a Southern thing. We just smash it.
It's true. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, we appreciate your time and putting that out for us. Looks good.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you, cameraman.
Thank you, Owen.
And Owen to the rescue.
You're welcome.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great evening.